Hi, welcome to the story so far, and welcome to my first episode here on YouTube. Today I want to discuss a couple of things. Why my statement on saving is dead, and also the reasons why over 20 years ago I chose to invest in positive cash flow real estate, and why I'll continue to think it's a good idea. I will elaborate a little bit more what I mean by this, but in the meantime, let's cover the first thing. Saving is dead. It is dead. Did I say dead? It is dead. The reason I am saying saving is dead is the current rate in Australia has been dropped to 1%. If you look at interest rates around the world, there's been a few countries where interest rates have been cut to negative territory. Japan, some places in Europe. If you put money in the bank, then that money in the bank is going to go backwards. Okay, so basically if you're saving, if you're keeping money in the bank, you're losing, unfortunately. Long are the days, especially when I was a kid, that you would put money in the bank consistently, and at the end of the year you will have a little bit more. Okay, so interest rates are going down to zero here in Australia. They, according to some analysts, they're still, the current rate, it is 1%. Look at this chart. As you can see from the chart, the trend has been consistently downwards since the 1990s. Now, some analysts believe that we're going to continue to see interest rates drop all the way down to zero and maybe negative territory here in Australia. So if you're thinking of having, or you have money in the bank, I think you better start thinking about why and what you can do with that. Here's another thought on why I think saving is dead. Besides interest rates going all the way down to zero, meaning that if you put your money in the bank, obviously you're not going to get any return. We got to think about inflation, right? Inflation's being reported around 2%. Personally, I think it's a lot more. And if you shop where I shop, which most of us shop, you will feel it in your pocket. What I mean by that is money in the bank, let's say at 1%, and inflation's at 3%. That means you are going backwards. So at the end of the year, your money in the bank is going to be a lot less than what you put in. When you think about it, that's probably something we never been through before. You have never been through before. So this is another reason why, regardless that if you think about real estate or investing for that matter, you will have no choice. Right now, we have no choice. So this is something that we really need to think about as well. Going back to the reasons why I chose to invest in positive cash flow, there's a lot of reasons. And I guess I will be sharing those reasons with you along the way and week by week and so on. But there's a couple of things that I think that are still continue to be very important for me. The first one was working 50, 60 hours a week and thinking, hold on a moment, it has to be something more that I can do. And eventually I could stop working and have some sort of income coming through. And when I looked into the different type of investments, real estate was the one. Positive cash flow real estate was the one that I thought I would follow, and I've been doing that for over 20 years, and I will share with you a lot of the lessons along the way, which by the way are beyond real estate. You know, there's a lot of things that I had to change in myself, in my mind, my belief systems, my education, that sort of stuff. But it's been a lot of fun, so I will share those with you. What continues to be important for me is the fact that we are going to live longer. You know, regardless if you like to look after yourself or not, there's going to be a replacement hip if the hip is failing, or there's going to be a new heart, or you know, science is advancing a lot and it's advancing very quickly. Look, I love working, but I'm not going to work until I'm 80 or 90, and I hope you're not thinking about doing that. So somehow we're going to have to cater for that, right? And I can hear some of you saying my superannuation or 401k plans in the US. We'll come back to that. In fact, I will dedicate an episode to that. I mean, if you were around in the year 2008, you will see why I am not so confident about the stock market in superannuation for that matter. But I will dedicate a particular episode to that. The other reason that is also huge for me about investing in positive cash flow real estate was having better choices in life. out of necessity, I needed to go and do some jobs that I wasn't very happy with. I didn't really identify myself with the teams or the people that surrounded me, and that gave me a lot of, I guess, energy and the will to pursue investing in positive cash flow real estate, and yeah, just building a passive income that I could rely on, so I could have better choices. Could decide who I want to hang out with, when and where. Perhaps have better choices in where do I want to work, how many hours I want to work, and if I get retrenched or made redundant, I'm not going to go and feel like it's the end of the world. I can, regroup and have the ability to cover my bills while I'll reinvent myself and jump into my next chapter. I was having a look at some stats the other day, and apparently it's between 70 and 80% of people hate their jobs. So that's, to me, that's a pretty big percentage. So I think that if you are part of that, then you perhaps should be doing something about this. I'd like to take the opportunity to share the reason why I'm putting this channel together. Over the years, every time I needed some information, I've jumped in YouTube and I pick up some books and go to seminars, and people are always willing to share and share experiences, secrets, tips, strategies, and so on. So I wanted somehow to give that back, and if throughout this channel I can inspire someone to make the first steps into their own investment journey, I'll be very happy. One of the things that you will be hearing in this channel also is the fact that I do invest in positive cash flow real estate in non-bubble regional centers with solid employment and regional economies, as opposed to capital gains in inner parts of the city, especially Sydney and Melbourne, where they're in bubble territory, negative cash flows, and so on. So very risky, very safe and predictable. Please note again, non-bubble regional centers with positive cash flow, low vacancy rates, and a lot of employment. Okay, so big differences between these two, and in future episodes I will be breaking these down for you, and we can analyze these together. Thank you for joining me on my first chapter. Please feel free to share any comments underneath, any experiences, and thank you for listening.